fantastic passive income revenue stream you need to be trying. Number 3, and that is dividend stocks. Now, I'm sure you've heard of dividend stocks before. A lot of them do not get into the actual stats, into the nitty gritty, which is exactly what I'll be doing in this video. Now, if you want to invest in any of these 9 dividend stocks, I'm gonna show you how much capital you're gonna need to invest in order to get to $1,000 per month in revenue from dividend stocks. And that's what this video is all about. Now, dividend stocks are like any other security on the stock market. You can buy and sell just like any other stock. Now, the only difference between a regular stock and a dividend stock, that company will pay you a portion of its profits. Now, dividends can be paid out monthly, like every single month you could be getting a check. Dividends can be paid out quarterly and also yearly. Now, where can you purchase dividend stocks? Well, you're just gonna need to go through a brokerage. Now, the brokerage that I use, there's a link in the description. It's for Webull. If you've never used Webull before, definitely check it out. Right when you sign up and deposit any amount of money, they're gonna give you a boatload of free stocks. That is just free money. Now, once you sign up for a brokerage, you can search and purchase any stock that you want. It could be a regular stock, it could be an ETF, and it can also be a dividend stock. And it is that simple. All you need to do is sign up for a brokerage, purchase the dividend stock, and just wait for the money to roll in. Now, not all dividend stocks are created equal. Some give much higher returns than others. Now, the goal for this video is to get to $1,000 in passive income through dividend stocks. And that leads us to stock number 1, Apple. Now, we all know, heard of, used Apple products. They have one of the most popular stocks out there, but also one of the lowest paying dividends out there. Apple was founded in 1976 and has been a staple in America ever since. There's even been a point where they had more cash on hand than the American government. It has been a fantastic business over the last 5 decades, and it will continue to be. The Apple stock will pay out an annual dividend yield of 0.6%. So with such a small yield, you're gonna need a very substantial amount of money to reach that $1,000 threshold. So if we do the math, you will need to invest $2 million into Apple in order to get that $1,000 a month each and every year from dividend income. Now, that is a lot of money, but investing in Apple is definitely a good proposition. All right, let's move on to the next one, and that is Microsoft. Now, Microsoft was founded 1 year before Apple in 1970, and it is the OG inventor to pretty much everything that we use today. Now, in recent years, it has taken a backseat to the dominance of Apple, but with some new fantastic investments, Microsoft's future looks pretty bright. Now, Microsoft has an annual dividend yield of 1.07%, so almost double Apple's annual yield. So doing the same math, in order to get to that $1,000 a month in passive income through dividend yields, you're gonna need an upfront investment of $1.13 million into Microsoft. But kind of like with Apple, the Microsoft company as a whole has a very bright future. So it could be a win-win-win. Which leads us to our next company, and that is Coca-Cola. Now, Coca-Cola was founded in 1892. Wow, I had no idea it was that old of a company. And over the last 130 years, it has been a staple in American culture and pretty much started an entire beverage industry. Now, Coca-Cola has an annual dividend yield of 3.06%. So much higher than Apple and Microsoft. So with that specific dividend yield, you're gonna need an initial investment of $392,000 in order to get to that $1,000 per month mark. Now, Coca-Cola is good, but I don't know if it's that good. All right, now the next company that I'm gonna go over is AT&T, or stock ticker T. Now, AT&T was founded in 1982, and they have just been the go-to in the communication industry for the last 40 years. They have shifted with the technology, they shifted with American culture, and they have a pretty awesome annual dividend yield of 5.96%. We're getting higher. Now, coming at just under 6%, it is definitely one of the higher yields as far as big companies that you're gonna find. Now, with that specific percentage, you're gonna need an initial investment of just over $201,000 in order to get $1,000 a month. That is some pretty good value from such a big company, which leads us to another telecommunications company, and that is Verizon Wireless. Now, Verizon Wireless was founded in 1983 and has a similar upstart story to AT&T. They are one of the biggest companies in the world, and they are only getting bigger. Now, Verizon Wireless does pay out 65 cents in quarterly dividends, which comes out to 6.95% in annual dividend yield, which if we do the same math we've been doing for the other very big companies, you're gonna need an initial investment of just over $172,000 to get to that $1,000 a month threshold. I'm personally invested in Verizon Wireless. This is such a fantastic value proposition from such a big company. Usually when companies get bigger, their incentives go down because everyone wants to purchase it. So the fact that they have just under 7% in annual yield is fantastic. Now, our next company that we're gonna go into is in the retail space, but we're going for high annual yields now. So for this one, we're gonna cover Big Five Sporting Goods. Now, Big Five has been a staple in American society for a very long time. And up until recently, have kind of been struggling, but with shifted strategy, okay earnings, Big Five can still be one of the best stock values out there, especially with such an high annual dividend yield of 11.34%. Now we're getting to true dividend income value. So in order to reach that $12,000 a year mark or $1,000 a month, you will need an initial investment of just over $105,000. Now that's still a lot of money, but it is nowhere near that $2 million mark that Apple requires. So Big Five, great company for a very long time, and they have a crazy high annual yield. So those were all the very recognizable companies. I'm pretty sure Big Five is the highest that you're gonna find as far as just easily recognizable companies. Now the top three, with the top three yields that I'm gonna go over, they're lesser known, but still are fantastic companies with fantastic yields. And with that, the first one I'm gonna go over is SACH. Now, this is a company that I'm personally invested in, and I'm gonna be invested in for a very long time. Now, SACH was founded in 2010, and they are a real estate finance company. And they offer an annual dividend yield of 13.68%. How fantastic is that? So with such a high yield, you are gonna need an initial investment of just over $87,000 in order to get to that $1,000 a month mark. That is some fantastic value. I cannot say that enough. All right, now the second to last one that I'm gonna go over is ORC. They were also founded in 2010, and they are also a special finance company with a heavy focus on mortgages. And they have an insanely high dividend yield of 17.73%. Woo! So with such a high dividend yield, you are only gonna need an investment of $67,000 in order to get to that $1,000 a month or $12,000 a year. Now, the last one that I want to go over has been fluctuating a little bit, but have some insanely high dividend yields, like some of the highest that you're gonna find. So this last stock that I'm gonna go over is SBLK. Now, this is a Greece company that was founded in 2006. And they are, for lack of a better term, they are a shipping company. And last year in 2022, they had an annual yield of just over 28.6%. Whew! So for the final math of this video, if you want to get to that $12,000 a year or $1,000 a month in passive income through dividend yields, you're gonna need an initial investment of just over $41,000. All right, That's it. That is all I got for today's video. Now, dividend stocks are a fantastic passive income revenue stream, but it is important to be realistic with your expectations as far as how much money you're gonna make and how much money you're gonna have to put up. That was my goal of this video. Hopefully you learned something. Hopefully you came out of this with some extra knowledge. And yeah, you want to see more? Definitely hit that subscribe button. If you have any questions, hit me up in the email or just drop a comment. I will get to everything. And again, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace.